Hey everyone, Decov13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Alright, so I believe we're going on a date with Ryder and Sakura today. So let's see what's gonna happen while we go shopping. I promised to go out with Ryder. The promise itself was for us to go shopping for clothes together with Sakura, but Ryder seemed reluctant to go.
ライダー、ちょっといいか。
白ですか？どうぞ。
As I hear her typically cool reply, I open the door. Ryder's been idly resting in her room. Doesn't look like she has anything especially important to do.
よかった。ライダー、今日は暇か？
難しい質問ですね。あえて言えばさしたる用事もありませんが。
She's absorbed in her reading as always. It's a convenient time to invite her out.
それならさくらと買い物に行かないか。あ、いや、俺も一緒に行くんだけど。
私もですか？
She gives a dubious reply. Well, naturally, it's unusual for the three of us to go out shopping together.
ああ、ほら、この前いろいろ約束したじゃないか。
はあ、わかりました。あとはさくらの都合ですね。私が確かめてきます。シローは先に玄関で待っていてもらえますか？
Like Sakura's servant that she is, Ryder stands up. Girls always have to make all kinds of preparations. I guess I'll just have to go ahead and wait for them. Somehow, Ryder doesn't seem to be in a good mood. As I thought, she suspects something. During the promise that night, Ryder seemed disinterested to the very end. I feel a tinge of guilt for pushing her regardless. And together with both Ryder and Sakura, huh? Wonder what somebody watching us would think. They'd probably guess that Ryder's our guardian. Maybe Ryder and Sakura are friends. I'm Sakura's older brother. I wonder about that. Sakura's taking a pretty long time to get ready. So I was wondering where the hell that phone came from. The phone in the living room rang, but somebody answered it before I could get up.
シントで待ち合わせにすればよかったかな。
I've been sitting by the door for a while now, checking the fold-out ads in the morning newspaper. Hey, Ryder. Ryder was suddenly standing behind me. Startled, I jumped back.
どうしたライダー。気になる広告でもあったか。
その申しにくいのですが、シロー。
She's speaking strangely. Is there some kind of trouble, or...
すみません、先輩。
Oh, club emergency? A very flustered Sakura comes running up in her school uniform. As I'm thinking, going to Shinto in uniform? Well, it's not that strange. Among other things, she hastily puts on her shoes.
さくら、靴べらです。ありがとう、ライダー。あ、先輩すみません。弓道部のことで休養ができちゃって、すぐに学校に行かないと。だから、さくらは一緒に買い物に行けないということです。
Ryder adds as Sakura flies out the door. Just as she's leaving the house, Sakura turns back.
先輩、今日はライダーのことをお願いしますからね。それじゃあ行ってきます。行ってらっしゃい。交通事故に遭わないよう気をつけて。
Sakura runs off in a big hurry. Since being appointed the captain of the archery club, she's become a lot more spirited. Before, she would have been really dejected about not being able to go. It's a very welcome change. Anyway, tell me to take care of Ryder.
で、お願いされてしまったようなんだけど、ライダー。
The silence is painful. The original plan was to go with both Sakura and Ryder. However, the crucial member Sakura has now gone missing. I don't want to exaggerate, but I'm not good at dealing with sudden accidents like these.
さくらが急いでいたので、私が送ろうかと言ったのですが、私はシローと一緒にと言って聞きませんでした。
俺もその方がいいんじゃないかと思うんだけど。どうしたもんか。
I'm a bit lost here. We stand by the door utterly bewildered. There's definitely something off about just the two of us going shopping together. It doesn't even compare to going out with Ilya. Now, even if it was someone like Saber, this is still weirder on a whole new level. Ryder, whom Sakura left in my care, is just as confused.
どうしますか、シロ。
買い物は後日延期というのも一つの手だ。
私もそれがいいと思います。
だがしかし、さくらにライダーのことをお願いされた以上、今日一日テレビ見てせんべいかじってたといえば、あと
それはもう、なんでライダーの相手してあげないんですか、先輩。せっかくの機会なんですから、ライダーをちゃんとエスコートしてあげてください。ライダーだって女の子なんですから、たまにはシントで羽を伸ばさないとダメなんです。先輩、セイバーさんにお世話焼きなのにライダーには冷たいんですね。いいですいいです、先輩のこと見損なっちゃいました。だ、先輩の解消なし、どうせ私とライダーは日陰者ですよーだ。
I don't think she'll go that far. That's not right. This is more than just disappointment. It's plain sulking.
私はそれでも構わないのですが。
すまん、俺が悪い。いや、それ以前にさくらの言うことは一理ある。ライダー。
What? Her gaze says as she looks at me. Well, time to gather up my courage.
ライダーが良ければ一緒に外に行こ
私だけですか？セイバーやタイガはどうしますか？
Adding more people to our party now would be strange. Shaking her head, it looks like she's finally given up.
わかりました。それがシローの望みでしたら、お供させていただきます。
う。決まった。じゃあ出るか。
はい。私はいつでも準備できています。
Somehow I think that's something. Somehow I think that's something only a naturally beautiful woman could say. You'd think that one would wear something more fashionable or bold for an outing like this, but then Ryder's problem is that she doesn't have anything like that.
どうしました？シロー？何か気苦労でも？
なんでもない。マウント宮山商店街じゃない。シントまで行こうか。
My haste, our schedule has returned to a blank slate once again. Well, I'll take her out to Shinto, and I'm sure I'll think of something there. Now then, I notice this all the time, but Ryder attracts attention. It's a somewhat different matter than with Saber. Saber just has that charming air about her, but with Ryder, we're more likely to inspire looks of jealousy.
シロー？到着しましたが、今日の計画はあるのですか？
計画というほどのものはまだ。
At first, I only thought of going shopping with Sakura. Her first and foremost worry would be to make sure the three of us are enjoying ourselves together. Unfortunately, Ryder and I are a poor match for just having fun. I'm just the way I am, while Ryder thinks of Sakura first. How we would have fun together is beyond me.
賑やかですね。この街はいつも。
ライダーの地元は違うもんな。いろいろ。
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. Can't even begin to imagine what the Mediterranean Sea was like during the Age of Gods.
さて、ここに立ち止まっていると迷惑でしょうから、動きます、シロ。
同感。そうだな、あっち行こう。
For now, there's still some time before lunch. It'll be hard to find our way around during lunchtime, however. So first...
先に昼飯にしよう。今なら空いてるはずだから。
わかりました。シロのおすすめの場所でしたら、私も喜んで。
Even after being told that, I still don't know what to do. Figures that the pub I used to work at wouldn't be open, so I have no choice but to choose from the places I've heard about from Tosaka and Sakura.
シロ、私はセイバーほど食事にこだわらないので、安心してください。
Ryder easily says something that would make Saber indignant with rage if she were ever to hear it. No, Saber isn't with us. A big relief. We ordered a hot sandwich early lunch combo. I brought Ryder to this cafe, doing our best not to stand out. Whether it's with Saber or Ryder, when we stand in line together, I just make her look even better. I already dread the inevitable, "Hey Amiya, who's that beauty with the super long hair you were together with during the weekend? New girlfriend?" And if you're going to call her my new girlfriend, just who is my old girlfriend supposed to be?
まさか、それは藤姉か。
確かに私が来る前にはそう見えたかもしれませんが。 それはあまりにもさくらに失礼というものではないのでしょうか。
How did Ryder answer that so yeah, how did she know what he was talking about? I'm worried that I might have been seen through by those mystic eyes behind her glasses and blurted out something I shouldn't have.
私よりさくらの方がこういう場ではシロには似合います。ですが大河より似合わないと言われるのは私の沽券に関わる問題です。
I weakly sigh in response to Ryder's assertion. In her head, Ryder has constructed a hierarchy of the people in my house with Sakura at the top. Though Ryder puts herself lower down, she doesn't seem too impressed with having Fujine above her.
藤姉と俺でも姉貴と弟っていうか、ライダーでもそう見えると思うぞ。
Suddenly, I imagine us an office lady, cousin, or sister, and younger grade school brother. Ryder casually looks around the inside of the cafe. Is that so? Her tone of voice says, though it isn't really clear.
本当はこれでも妹なのですが。
Ryder blurts out something incomprehensible. If I had a younger sister who was superior to me in every way like her, it'd be a real problem for me. Not because she'd be muscling in on Ilya's territory, but because I have no idea how I would deal with it.
シロ、私が妹だったら困るという顔をしています。
You are way too good at reading people's faces, Ryder.
いや、鋭いな、ライダー。ごめん。
I reflect. Not on whether Ryder is like a sister right now, but on how immature I am. If Ryder says I'm a younger sister too, then that's the way it is.
で、この後どうしよう。ライダーは
I don't think it was that unexpected of a question, but there's no response either.
シロは何がしたいのですか。
何って、そうだな。
We were really supposed to be heading somewhere with Sakura. That would be...
思い出した。ライダーの服を選ぶって話のはずだ、最初は。
She stiffened so much that even a passerby would notice. Back then, I recommended that she go shopping with Sakura as well, but Ryder was obstinate right to the very end.
さくらやシロに気を使っていただかなくても結構なのですが、自分の服は自分で選びますから。
いや、確かにそうなんだけど、いろんな学校のライダーも見てみたいなというのは、俺とさくらの共通見解というか。
I try putting on a downcast face that says, "Is it no good?" as I ask her. Even though I hang my head, Ryder's reply is cool.
あなたが期待するほどのものはご覧になれないと思います。
なれるよ。それに関してはライダーの過小評価だって言い切れるからな。大丈夫。大きくても可愛い人はいるんだし。
私ほどになるとそうも言えないでしょう。可愛いのはさくらにぜひ。私はこれで構いません。
Not blunt. Looks like all I did was make her hate it even more. I play with my leftover sandwich and pickles, wondering what we should do.
となると、あ、ライダーって映画見る？
見ないこともありませんが、テレビでやっていてもあまり見ません。セイバーは好きかもしれませんが。
Saber just spent a lot of time in front of the TV. Does that mean she likes it? Anyway, Ryder doesn't seem to be against the movies. Then...
俺も久しぶりだけど、何か見に行こ
う。わかりました。それではシローのおすすめがありますか？
It's decided. This'll take a good amount of time. Even after I went through such trouble to come here with Ryder, it's pathetic that we got bored so quickly. But wait. I just realized that at this point it might as well be a date. You're just realizing that? Movie theater has Fate Zero and Tiger Dojo the movie. Which one should we see? Fucking Fate Zero. Ryder's expression says that she would be fine with either. It's up to me, so whichever one, there's no turning back now. Due to some graphic violence, viewer discretion's advised. Oh, the Tiger Dojo movie. Type Moon. It's good. doll.
いない。ね、姉さん。大変です、姉さん。先輩が。
What? Oh
な
no.
んてこと。姉さんまでこんな。姉さん、しっかり。さくら、抜かったわ。まさかあんな奴らが出て会社
Those guys?
落ちほど。姉さん、しっかり。頭とか喋っちゃダメ。今手当てを。
Oh Jesus.
姉さんがもう一人。いかなる仕掛けでこのような。はあ、ここのさくらは目も当てられないわね。まるで綿人形のようだわ。
That's exactly what she is.
ですがリン、私の知るさくらより多少可愛げがある。丸いしうまいこと言うわね。状況クリア。クリア。それじゃ死んでもらおうかしら。もしやこの人は姉さんじゃないのでは。
What? I succeeded in cyber. What the fuck? Why is she in a helicopter? It's a fucking toy helicopter. Oh, this is good. Binoculars. "2005 winter." Was that that was probably a functioning website. I don't think that website's active anymore. I'm so moved, I unconsciously forgot all about all the bad things in my life. I can't even remember the good things. Yawn. Oh jeez, even Haku can't stop my tears. It's such a merciless take on love. Of course, these are the Type Moon characters. Of course, of course. Right, Hisui-chan? The movie is a masterpiece. Okay. I agree. It's kind of hard to comment on what we just watched. A 2-hour daydream. or some sort of poor life choice. Even Ryder looks like she doesn't know what to say.
あれはどういう映画なのでしょうか、シロ。
俺に聞かれても正直困る。
I wonder if it's alright to make a movie like that. Is it okay to show such a movie? I wish the movie theater would be a little more conscious of the fact that it's expected to offer entertainment. Or rather, I'd like them to stop showing this right now, before there's a second or third victim.
いや、しかし。
I should be the one taking responsibility for choosing this to begin with. It's my fault for charging into a worthless movie just because the showtime was close.
ああいうものはタイガやセイバーは楽しめるのでしょうか。
どうなんだろう。藤姉は大喜びの気がする。
Oh yeah. Why do the two of us have to think about such difficult things after a movie? After waiting so long to come out to Shinto with Ryder, it makes me feel a little sad that our date is going to end.
とにかくいろいろと興味深かったのは事実です。
フォローサンキュー。ああ、まだ時間あるな。
It's still too early for the 3 o'clock tea break, though. Again, we've got nothing to do. At this rate, we could wander around the seaside park and hit the pool, but we didn't bring our bathing suits.
シロ、少々よろしいでしょうか。
ん？
この後、あそこの書店に寄らせてもらいたいのですが。
What Ryder is pointing to is Shinto's largest department store, Verde. If I remember correctly, Shinto's biggest bookstore is in there as well.
そうだな。俺も久しぶりに見てみたいし。
I think Ryder might be interested in a new book. Somehow, this still resembles a date, right?
ああ、これが出ていましたか。
We walk around the bookstore together. Though I'm wondering what book Ryder is looking for, we first look at the news section. Then we go through the history, sports, monthly magazines, and so on. Ryder's really serious about looking for her book. I'm just casually paging through the magazines, but I'm more worried about the woman next to me. Well, what should I do now? Two of us pass by the fashion magazine corner, paying no attention to the colorful racks around us.
やっぱりもったいないよな。
Trying on clothes, deciding whether this or that fits Ryder well, it's difficult for me. When it comes to fashion, it definitely would have been better if Sakura or Tosaka were here.
シロ、
Her voice startles me. A mysterious pair of eyes are gazing at me from the other side of the rack. Did she figure out what I was thinking? I wave my hands hurriedly in an attempt to distract her.
あ、いや、なんでもない。買うもの決まったか？
いえ、少し選ばせてください。シロの買い物はあるのですか？
Don't ask me because there really isn't. Ryder's just looking at books, but I feel like a nuisance by hovering around her this whole time.
いや、少し辺りを歩いてくる。ここの入り口で待ち合わせよ
う。わかりました。15分ほどお待ちください。
I'm sure this is best for Ryder too. Leaving her behind, I exit the store. I check the directory to see what else Verde has.
一番上はアミューズメントか。
After this, maybe we can check out the arcade upstairs. I'm not especially good at video games, but Ryder would probably be good at the physical games. Her motor skills and reflexes far exceed those of a human. No, wait. If Ryder goes all out, then this will turn into something absolutely ridiculous.
ダメだな。ライダーが大暴れになったら言い訳がつかない。
In that case, we could try some coin-op games. It's not a bad idea, but it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't really fit.
メンズファッション、レディース、カルチャー、レストランと。食料品&イートインは地下か。
The women's fashion floor is in the middle, huh? If I bring Ryder there... I'd originally given up on the idea, but I'm having second thoughts now. We really should do something date-like for once. Just go home now would make all this be in vain. I've gone through all this trouble to be here together with Ryder after all.
よし。
I think about what to do as I head back to the bookstore. Since it's come to this, I'm taking drastic measures. Rather than making some half-assed explanation, I'll just drag her straight there.
お帰りなさい、シロ。お待たせしましたか？
ああ、こっちこそ。で、こっちに来て、ライダー。
はい。何かシロの用事があるのでしょうか。
俺の用事というか、さくらの用事というか、ライダーの用事というか、とにかく行けばわかる。
目的が不明瞭ですね。とにかく私たちに関わる問題だと言いたいのでしょうか。
ああ、そういうこと。さくらと約束したからな。
Movement complete. Having successfully avoided saying anything to Ryder, we arrived at the ladies' floor.
何ですかここは。
何って、見ての通り婦人用服飾品のコーナー。
私を測ったのですか、シロ。
A baseless attack on my reputation. It's impossible for me to pull off a gambit as risky as trying to deceive Ryder to begin with.
測ってない。説明しなかっただけ。口で丸め込むのは遠坂の箱で俺には無理だし。
そういうシロは遠坂凛の弟子ではないですか。指定でこのような策謀の伝承を。
いや、その方面の弟子になった気はないです。
Really? I gesture as I reply. I wonder if she believes me. Ryder grits her teeth as she glares at me.
シロ、こういうのは卑怯ですよ。
思う。けどこうでもしないとライダー来てくれないだろ。
As soon as one even says the fa and fashion, Ryder refuses immediately. But frankly, my desire to see Ryder dress up outweighed my fear of her anger.
それにさくらとも約束したからな。今日一日ライダーの面倒を見るって。映画見て本屋に寄っただけじゃ面白みに欠けるだろ。
確かにそうですが、それとこれとは。
それにここに来て服を選ぶのが当初の目的でもあったわけだし。
Although I'd completely given up until just a little while ago. Even if Sakura were here, I have a feeling this scene would have played out the same way.
そういうわけで面倒を見るからにはライダーの服を選ばないといけない。さくらは俺を信頼してライダーを任せてくれたんだし。
奇妙な論理で説得を試みますね、あなたは。
論理というより感情論なんだけどな。そもそも俺がいろんな服を着たライダーを見たいんだから。
It's something I sort of had been thinking about for a while now. Just once, I'd like to see her dressed up. Well, if I put it like that, then Ryder is sure to respond with.
しかし、シロ、私は。
そんなに可愛くありません？
Seems I've hit it right on as Ryder suddenly sinks into silence. It's not true, of course, but her inferiority complex isn't something that can be wiped out in one day. When it comes to this, Ryder's pretty stubborn. Recently, how should I put this? I've started to get the feeling that that aspect of her is pretty cute in and of itself.
いろいろ試してみるべきだぞ。第一、ライダーは何着ても似合うんだから。
When she gives me that look, I feel guilty, like I'm bullying her. Speaking of which, it must look like I'm hitting on her or something.
いや、誤解するなよ、ライダー。俺はライダーをいじめてるわけじゃなくて、さくらにこんなライダーはどうだと見せて楽しみたいのであり、俺の個人的興味もあり、決してライダーを笑い物にする気はないんであって。
Crap, even I don't understand what I'm saying anymore. I'm just going to screw myself over at this rate and embarrass Ryder. In that case, this calls for some truly extreme measures.
とにかくこっち来い!
I seize Ryder's hand. I feel her soft palm. In my haste, I think I'm turning this into something it shouldn't be. This is bad. Ryder has such gentle hands, they're unexpectedly tender. I wonder which one of us is blushing more. Once it dawned on me what I'm actually doing, I immediately took the lead to conceal my face and prevent Ryder from herself from noticing.
シロ。
Without looking back, I leap into the store in front of us. If the store clerk in front of us noticed anything strange, she stifled it with a smile. Did she see everything that went on back there?
いらっしゃいませ。何をお探しでしょうか。
俺が俺に探しているんじゃなくて、これが
I'm mentally panicking while I speak to the clerk. I hadn't thought of anything to say.
こっちのライダーに似合う洋服がないかと思って。
ライダー？こちらのお客様ですか？
That's right. It's not like she knows who that is just by the name. Yep, I nod. Now all I have to do is sit back and watch as those two try on different outfits. I lift my head up in relief, knowing that the clerk will take care of everything after this. I thought that Ryder would be shooting me unhappy looks since I forcibly dragged her here, but
そうです。
Ryder, who had been so unhappy right until now, was smiling. Thinking that she had finally settled back into a good mood, I was about to breathe a sigh of relief when...
私の彼が可愛い格好をさせたいとお願いを。
はい。
Boyfriend? Not just a boy who's a friend, but my boyfriend? Wouldn't that be like saying my darling?
そう、俺とライダーはですね。
The clerk keeps up her smile. Although I have tricked Ryder to get her to come here, right now she's smiling she's even smiling warmly at me. Why is it that I'm the only one that feels helpless even though the atmosphere is suddenly improved?
いや、彼女はその俺の姉みたいなもので。
シロ、そんな釣れないことを言わないでください。さっきはあんなに私が可愛い綺麗だって言ってくれたではないですか。
Oh, God, I love Ryder. There's no lying what she just said, but it sure has some undertones to it. It almost sounds like I sweet-talked her into this.
綺麗な方ですね。モデルさんでもこちらのお客様ほどの方はいらっしゃいませんよ。
それは確かに折り紙もつけるし太鼓判も押します。でもそれは別の話で、俺とライダーは彼とか彼女とか。
In my panic, I vehemently deny everything. That is, I'd be really happy if I had someone like Ryder for a girlfriend, but I'm afraid that would be frightfully good luck. She really isn't my girlfriend. But here she is, twisting reality around and teasingly snuggling up against me.
可愛いでしょ。彼は私に一途なのに恥ずかしがり屋さんなのです。
Her whispers aren't directed at the clerk, but at me. In any case, I probably do look like I'm trying to cover up my shyness. It's more effective on me than even a noble phantasm. My heart is beating past its limit, and I've become red up to my ears.
人がいないと積極的なのに、誰かに会うと私は姉みたいだとか保護者だとか釣れないことを言うのです。ですので一つ努力して彼に可愛い俺の彼女だと言わせたいと。
Without thinking, I wildly look around as if scanning for enemies. I think I would start crying if anyone were watching this, but I can't help but hope that someone out there might give me a helping hand. No friends or enemies to be found. Meanwhile, up close, Ryder's lips melt into an elegant smile.
ね、シロ、私のことを可愛がってくれますか？
いや、その言い方は誤解がものすごく。
そうですね。言葉より行動で証明してもらいたいです、私。
My feet are glued to the floor like toffee. Is Ryder seducing me? Wait, from the clerk's point of view, the one doing the seduction would have been me, so Ryder looks like she's just returning the favor.
でしたら、今年の秋冬で素敵なのがありますよ。おすすめのがありますか？サイズはこんなに大きいのはありますか？ええ、お客様くらいのスタイルだと映えますね。インポートものはお客様のような方に本来は合わせてありますので。
I should take a deep breath now that the subject of attention has changed.
シロ。
I don't even get a chance to do that. At the sound of my name, my brain somehow responds. If she would just come out and say, "Forgive me, Shiro, it was all a joke," I would gladly give her a year's worth of gratitude. Heck, I'd build her a temple and offer her a sacrifice right there.
いや、ほら、俺はここでじゃない、向こうで待ってるから。
それは困ります。
She's blocked my only escape route. Stubborn. But I still feel like I can get out of it by challenging Ryder.
困るって、俺は困らないんだけど。
可愛いかどうかを見てくれるのはシローだという約束ですよ。まずシローが可愛いと言ってくれなければ私も判断に困ります。
What is she saying? The clerk over there has been trained to compliment you as much and as elaborately as you want. But now Ryder's actually clinging to my arm, if not just nuzzling up to me. It does make me kind of happy, but this can't end well.
シロー、 一つ提案があるのですが。
なんだ、聞けることなら何でも聞くぞ。その代わりにこの手を。
服を選ぶのもいいのですが、ファッションはファウンデーションから揃えればより引き立つと伺っています。
Where is she going with this?
あちらを選ぶのもシロに手伝ってもらえませんか？
Oh. Foundation. A base of something? Filled with dread, I look in the direction she's pointing. Yeah, she's pointing at the lingerie section, isn't she?
それは、いや、まずい。
My legs begin trembling. Why am I frightened to the point of tears, you ask? Because she's telling me to go into the lingerie section, that's why! Oh, Ryder. My body's assailed by a fit of shivering that turns my pores inside out.
ダメ、さすがにそれはダメだろう、ライダー。
釣れないことは言わないでください。私の下着姿は見たくないのですね。
This woman.
どうせ私は可愛くないですから。
そんなことはない。だってそんなに綺麗じゃないか。
Jesus, I just blurted that out reflexively without even thinking. I've dug myself a hole so deep you could build a temple inside of it.
私が綺麗だと言ってくれるのなら、ぜひとも一緒に選んでください。シロ。
ダメ、俺は男だし、あれはほら、男子禁制の結界の中じゃないか。絶対つまみ出されるって。
いいえ、お客様。一緒にインナーを女性と選ばれるお客様もいらっしゃいますよ。
Is this damn store clerk with the worst timing tag teaming me with Ryder now? Speaking of which, do such men even exist? My highest possible respect for them. No joke.
ほら、前例はあります。シロ、私のを見たくありませんか？
The enchantress from the Age of Gods smiles innocently. This is unfair. There's no way I can go against that. One by one, my various internal restraints are coming loose. Should I admit that I really want to see her? My sense of reason will surely start melting away. The reckless excitement I feel about seeing Ryder is threatening to swallow me up, to the point that I doubt if I'll be able to go home. I'm at a loss for words. Ryder's hand is grasping my arm so affectionately. Even though her whispers are soft, her grip is quite firm.
論より証拠。一度シロに見てもらえばはっきりします。
And so she starts to drag me along. Even though I plant my feet and resist with all my might, she's so strong that I might as well resist by, being towed by a truck.
やっぱりストップ！待て待て待て、こんなんでいいのか、ライダーは。
私は構いませんよ。むしろ私にはインナーの審美眼もありませんから、見ていただいた方がありがたい。
そういうのは見た目より機能性重視にしてくれ。
Even against my yells of protest, Ryder doesn't ease up at all. I'm being pulled straight into the lingerie section.
確かに。ですが、それも加味した上で、シロにはぜひ。
ハイヤーボールだ！ちょっと待て！
The land of lace and frills stretches out before me. I'm greeted by a world that dazzles the senses, and with Ryder at that.
さて、どこから始めたものでしょうかね。あれほどあると迷います。
Fucking text. No, it was more like a hellish paradise. I don't really remember what happened after that. Anyway, all I'll say is that Ryder was incredible in many ways.
こんなんだと今晩眠れない。
I'm worn out in more ways than one. As we were getting off the bus, Ryder had her usual cool expression on.
シロ、いつもの忠告ですが、急須猫を噛むと言います。
Yeah.
あのように傘にかかって攻め立てる以上は、爪の甘さは逆に死を招きますよ。
That really is how it turned out. I tried my best to get Ryder to try on some different clothes, but she turned the tables on me in the end.
それに、 女性をあまりからかうものではありません。私ですからあの程度でしたが、さくらや凛ならさぞかし痛烈な反撃を。
As we walk in line, I nod yes to each point of Ryder's sermon. Eventually, she did try on a bunch of different clothes, but I had gone into such a useless state that we didn't end up buying anything. I think I just kept saying, yeah, okay, or something towards the end.
ですね。今日はいろいろお世話になりました。
ああ、そうだな。
I noticed that it's evening and we've reached the road home. Like I promised Sakura, I was Ryder's companion for a day.
でもライダーが楽しそうだったからよかった。
At first, I wasn't sure how things would go. Not only did lunch go by uneventfully, the movie was pretty strange as well, and nothing good came out of forcing the situation at Verde. Still, if Ryder really had fun firing back at me, then maybe it wasn't so bad after all.
シローは楽しかったのですか？
At hearing the question, I can't help but wonder. Rather than enjoying it, in the end I worked my tail off accompanying her. But even then, I guess I could say that my answer wouldn't be much different than hers.
私はシローが楽しそうでしたから満足しました。
An answer that considers the feelings of the other. Timidity, or just lack of confidence. No, it's more because we don't really know how to feel about all this. With a sigh, I think about Sakura, who should have been with us.
さくらがいればさくらは楽しかったかな。
どうでしょう。
A vague reply. I don't know, but if Sakura were here, I have a feeling that this peace and quiet right now on the familiar road home would have an entirely different feel to it. In a way, it's a bit of happiness that's also hard to come by.
さて、ただいまとさくらに何と報告するかな。
ありのままを伝えましょうか。
そんなことすると焼かれるし怒られるし、俺は恨む。
She's not gonna be happy when she hears what you did, Ryder. If she said something like, next time, please look at me, senpai, I'd be in really big trouble. I'm just beat for today, as I sigh for the 1000th time.
今日はありがとうございました。シロ。
Wait, she's just kissed me lightly on the forehead.
今のはライダー。
落ち着いてください。慌てているとセイバーやサクラに感づかれますよ。
Oh, this woman.
そんなことじゃなくて、悔しいな。
Touching my forehead, I sigh. If I did that, it would just seem conceited and unnatural. It probably only looked cool because she was the one doing it. Being beautiful sure is an advantage.
ライダーは今でも美人だけど、もし男でも憎たらしいほどかっこよくて綺麗だったと思う。
シロが女性だったら、サクラほどに放っておけないほど一途でけなげな子だったと思いますよ。
She's patronizing me again. Ryder's without peer when it comes to that.
おかえりなさい、ライダー。今日はどうだった？先輩もお疲れ様です。ご飯できてますから。ただいま戻りました。楽しかったですよ。さくらの分も楽しませていただきました。
Oh, what a day. What a day. And that takes up the night slot as well. Okay. Let's see, nothing new here. Nothing new here. Anything new at night? No, nothing new at night either. Okay, we have caster event. Yukika as well. Alright, let me just cut right here real quick. Alright, let's do this caster event. See what's going on
買って
here.
きた。レアチーズクッキーブルーベリーだっけ？
ご苦労様。はい、お金。
Castor took the triangular crepe without looking back, casually handing me a 500 yen coin.
いや、足りないんだけど、あと80円さ。
Hey. No good, she's not listening. I have no choice but to eat my own share. Mine is the clerk's recommendation. Banana with fresh chocolate caramel cream. Delicious. This is really tasty. Even considering how hungry I was, it's superb. Even the name is excessively long. These crepes they make nowadays sure have a taste of extravagance to them. I only thought about it after leaving, but the food cart seems to have a good reputation. I think Sakura might have mentioned it before. Even though it seems abnormally high in calories, it's easy on the stomach. The Sakura had better avoid it.
さて、
Castor, on the other hand, stuffs her mouth greedily as if the taste is unimportant, crushes the wrapper into a ball and throws it behind her.
うへ。
I let out a sigh while catching her garbage, and lovingly send it into the waste bin with an overhead shot. She's glued to a van parked along the street, secretly spying on two people walking together a little further away. The first, Castor's silent husband, Kuzuki Soichiro. The other, my unfaithful older sister figure and teacher, Fujimura Taiga. They're technically work associates, I guess. Yeah. Come to think of it, while on the way to meet Issei at the temple, I was caught by this witch, forced to stand up my appointment, and have been marching around the city like this for about an hour and a half. Issei's probably furious right about now. Before I realized it, somehow we've left Miyama City and are in the middle of Shinto. We made our way across the big bridge, moving from pillar to pillar on the roadway to hide ourselves, all while being continually peppered with blaring car and truck horns. For those who haven't noticed us already, I can't help but think there's some sort of magic at work. The saying, a young maiden is blinded by love, seems to hold true. Why does that feel off somehow? Maybe something to do with the phrase young maiden. Along with the target, we continue to move forward. I poke Castor's shoulder as she's standing in the shadow of a bus schedule sign.
なあ、キャスター。ちょっと俺、まだこの追跡口の要点が飲み込めてないんだけど。
No response.
おい、キャスタ
Again, no response.
ー。ねえ、キャスコったら。
Cassie. The heel of your heel is breaking my shin.
奥様？デニムのポレロジャケットの初々しい若奥様？
あら、何かおっしゃられて？
さ、俺たちなんでこんなストーキングプレイに夢中になってるのか、もう一回教えてほしいんだけど。
こんなこと？
She grabs me by the neck and pulls me in front of her underneath the shadow of the plaza's Objet d'Art. A blue flame can be seen burning in her eyes.
物覚えの悪い坊やね。一目瞭然でしょ。
You know, I love that she didn't grab him by the collar. She grabbed him by the neck.
あの幹部を見張っているのよ。宗一郎様の身にいかなる不幸や間違いも降りかからないように。
I really don't think you have anything to worry about there. I'm telling you, that's the part I don't understand.
いや、でもだよ。あそこにいるのは藤村大河だけど。
ええ。だからこそ、後見役のあなたにこうして看護してもらっているのではなくて？
Guardian? Custody? Is Fujine some kind of heinous criminal? Well, I'm not going to disagree that I do look after her. The problem lies somewhere else.
隣にいるの久月先生だろ？
いかにも宗一郎様です。
その降りかかる不幸や間違いって？
たわいない。無論男女が共にいれば起こりうる至極もっともな状況を指して言いましたが。
Again, I don't really think you have much to worry about here.
坊やにはまだ早かった。
つまりそれって。
宗一郎様が建物の奥へ。さあ、歩いて。いててててて。
I'm led by the neck in a bent posture from hiding place to hiding place while stealthily following them. So she hasn't let go of his neck yet. Okay. On the other side of the street, a kid with his family points and laughs at us.
何を見ているの子供。豚に帰るわよ。
Eek! Don't say things like that with such a serious look on your face.
待て、落ち着けキャスター。いいか、俺が知る限りこの冬騎士で、いや、もしかすると西日本一帯で浮気調査やらガサ入れやらといった単語から最も縁遠い女性はどなたですかって言ったら、そりゃもうあちらにおられる藤村大河女子だから。藤姉に比べたらさ、まだうちのバイト先の看板娘さんの方が現実味があるというか。
おや猫くん、風邪かね。そういう時は飲むに限るぞ。
That's not good advice.
あれ、おかしいな。どっちもどっち？いや、とにかくそのくらいバーチャルだってことだ。
But even after my insistent explanation, Castor's eyes don't show even a trace of understanding.
あのメトラメを人畜無害と言い張るつもり？けれど現にこうして二人の仰せを見せつけられている以上はこれっぽっちも説得力がないわ。
だからあれは。
Come to think of it, what's Fujine doing? I thought she just wandered off early this morning.
そりゃあまあ仕事の話だと思うけど、何かの下見とかさ。
今日は穂村原学園はお休みのはず。休日出勤や残業の時は宗一郎様は欠かさず私にお話ししてくださいます。
へえ、さすが新婚。思いやりだね。
そうなのよ。遅くなる。先に食べていなさい。
へえ、残業ったら藤姉の場合、白とんかつ弁当キャベツ特盛り超特急だよ。
羨ましい。私も宗一郎様のお勤めする姿を見てみた。授業では宗一郎様もお話になるんでしょ？
What?
そりゃまあずっと黙ってられちゃ授業にならない。
いいわね。
Jesus Christ.
何が？
授業が聞けてさぞやハッピーでスイートな時を過ごされてるのでしょうね。
そりゃもう倫理の授業だし。
As expected, Kuzuki-sensei doesn't seem to talk much at home. Castor doesn't seem unsatisfied, but deep down she probably wants to hear his voice more often.
よし、じゃあ予行演習だ。職員室のつもりでちょっと挨拶に行ってみよう。
Then, no sooner than I start walking, my arm is pulled back. Turning around, I see Castor shaking her head vehemently from left to right.
ダメ、絶対。
なんでさ。
わからない子ね。妻たる者、夫の帰宅を待ちながら。
The moment Castor raises her voice, Kuzuki-sensei abruptly turns around.
あら、先生、花粉症ですか？近頃は秋も辛いらしいですね。私は点で無縁ですけど。
いえ、少々耳慣れた声がしたような。
人が噂すればするほど花粉が大量発生するんですよね。
それは新手の都市伝説でしょうか。
危なかった。
やっぱり久月先生は疑ってんだな。
ギク。
Hiding behind a shop's clothing display, Castor scowls.
誰がそんなことを言いました？
で、その疑ってるのを当の旦那にだけは知られたくはないと。
なんということかしら。私の知る坊やはもう少し可愛げのある素直な性格だったのに。
それって騙されやすいってことか？
That's kind of upsetting. They say you should take a fresh look at a man you haven't seen for 3 days.
俺も変わったんだ。 あの作望渦巻く伏魔殿と化した屋敷で過ごしていれば嫌でも俺だって。
ほんと何してるのかしらあの二人。あ、また移動したわよ。
キャスター
She's not listening. And she's gone.
本格的に腹減ってきた。そろそろ俺も帰るから。
Castor turns around in a flash, sinking her nails into my shoulder.
ちょっとお待ちなさい。そんな腹ペコキャラぶったところで可愛いのはセーバーだけよ。男は見苦しいだけです。
じゃああとは頑張って。
待って。
Holding onto my leg, Castor gets pulled along, sliding across the smooth floor like a snow sled. I disregard her and walk briskly.
キャスターの心配もわからないでもないけど、でもやっぱりいい趣味じゃないよ。人の後をつけるなんてさ。
Oh, look at her.
だ
Shocked at seeing Castor sitting formally on her knees and in tears, I finally stop moving.
だって私一人で尾行なんてしてたらまるで変な人か。でなきゃ人妻に横連ぼしようとしてる愛人みたいじゃない。
それが本音か。でもまあいいじゃんか。職務質問くらいなんだってんだ。恥ずかしがらず言ってやればいいだろ。私は久月メディアですって。正真正銘あの男性の奥さんですってさ。
Castor was in the midst of staggering, but she suddenly lifts her head.
Repeat once more.
何
French?
久月メディア
久月メディ
She seems happy.
それだわ。それ久月メディア。帰ったら朝日に表札掘らせなくちゃ。
いやあんた居候だし。
Castor's twirling about like a spinning top with both arms wide open.
皆様、私は久月メディアでございます。久月メディア。
輝いてるな、キャスター。
Though you also become a suspicious person for real now. Actually, she seems to be about at her wit's end. Just one more slight poke might be all it takes for her to blow her top.
あれ、藤根たちは
メストラめ、私を巻いたわね。
あ、帰ってきた。
伏せて。
Kind of pathetic how accustomed I've gotten to hiding myself by this point. Both of them are retracing their steps, returning from the shopping mall's restaurant area.
歩かせちゃってすみません。怒ってらっしゃいますよね。
歩くのは苦になりません。
よかった。大丈夫です。次こそバッチリですから。
In the end, the two of them leave the shopping mall and head off in search of their next destination. Now that I look at them, all the restaurants are completely crowded during the holiday lunch hour. However, they're not so packed that they couldn't sit two more people.
さっきからずっとこのパターンなんだよな。店の前まで行っては目前で引き返す。別に休店してるわけじゃなし。
あら、坊やあれは？
そろそろ坊やは卒業したい。
なら僕。
Junior.
僕か。
Castor's pointing at the exit of an Italian chain restaurant. There are 3 girls wearing school uniforms.
三枝たちだ。部活の行き帰りっぽいな。
Castor's expression becomes grim.
やっぱり人目を避けているのね。あら坊や、僕、どうしたの急に隠れたりして。ついに逃げ出したかと。
She gives me a cold look as I cling to the back of the escalator.
そうしたいのは山々だけど、俺にも事情がある。あんたとのツーショットを連中に目撃されると、また説明がややこしい。
Yeah, especially one of them. Castor bites her lip.
男という生き物は
Oh crap. Looks like I've gone and made things complicated anyway. Damn it, whose fault does she think this is?
急ぎましょう。まだ遠くへは行ってないはず。
あとほんの少しだけば。
Once again, she briskly pulls me along by the scruff of my neck. I'm exposed, naked to the public view. Behind me, I feel like I can hear Makidara's, "Oh, tomorrow the morning newspaper's front page is mine." And Saigu says, what is it, Maki-chan? And Himuro's, but now's not the time to worry about that.
やつらはどっちへ行った
Now that we've run as far as halfway around the mall, she starts yelling at the parking lot security guard. She really doesn't care how this looks anymore, does she?
あれじゃないか。
Right this moment, the two of them just climbed up the log staircase. It looks like a cottage-style store, and are disappearing inside the door.
喫茶店よね。
みたいだね。はあ、よかった。ラブホとかじゃなくて。
さあ行きましょう。
She just swung rule breaker.
あ、もちろんだ。
I value my bangs. And to tell you the truth, I value my life even more. Gee, that mysterious blade sure is sharper than you'd expect. With precise timing, we slip in through the shop's open door right as another customer is leaving. The waitress attempts to greet us, but becomes completely rigid after the first syllable. It's almost as if she was stared down by Ryder. Behind Castor, I put my index finger to my mouth and appeal to the waitress with desperate eyes. If not for that, I'm afraid she may have mistaken us for a duo of robbers and reported us to the authorities. Fortunately, that doesn't happen. In any case, we're customers. We have no intention of causing any trouble. Could you please show us to the most inconspicuous seating arrangement? Please don't worry too much about this woman. I try my best to explain all this with gestures. The result is that my sincerity and enthusiasm seems to reach the waitress, and she leads us to a table situated as far from other customers as possible. Thanks to that, she doesn't come back to take our orders. I look around the tidy interior of the shop and see that Fujine and Kuzuki-sensei are situated diagonally across the room from us, next to a window. Thanks to a thick pillar standing in the middle of the room, they haven't noticed us, I hope. The ambiance is that of a true coffee shop, calm and relaxing. We might be able to overhear that conversation if we listen carefully. Nice positioning.
ご注文は
Wait a minute. Sometime after the two of us sit down, a waiter finally decides to show up at our table. I scan through the menu in a hurry.
エールを
Relentlessly eavesdropping on our target's conversation, Castor rudely gives her selection with her back still turned.
ジンジャーエールでございますか。
生姜なんか絶対入れないで。だったらワインを。
申し訳ありません、お客様。アルコール類は午後5時以降よりのご注文とさせていただいております。
So I guess Lancer's working at the coffee shop now.
何もないのね、この店は。じゃあ、水でいいわ。
当店は紅茶専門店でございますので。
The waiter is also trying hard, it seems. As for me, I'd like out of doing battle with this menu that's devoid of explanation as soon as possible. I at least know what Assam and Kimun are. What the heck are Nuara Elia and Lapsang Sochong? Local greetings? Newcomer servants? As someone with an interest in cooking, my curiosity is piqued.
本日は特にアイリッシュスタイルとなっておりまして、特製のブレンドをご用意して。
紅茶なんてただの色水でしょ。どれだって一緒よ。いいから黙っててくださる？注文ならそちらの坊やが2杯でも3杯でもしてくれるわ。
How cruel. That's too much. She owes tea lovers everywhere an apology. And me while she's at it.
お言葉ですが、お客様。かのアイルランドでは、茶は血よりも濃いと言われているのをご存知ですか？なあ、おい。
That's right, you tell her. That's the first time I've heard that saying. Wait, or you! I look up from my menu in a panic and...
注文もしやがらねえのに一発のお客面してやがるのはこの耳か？あ？
ランサ
The one holding Castor up by her ears, unmistakably Lancer.
よ、お前らもなかなか隅に置けねえな。自分の連れはほっといて密会か？
違うって。
なんという暴言。ありえない。
ランサー、また転職を？
What, got kicked out of the shopping district? My recollection is extremely vague on this matter, but as I remember it, Lancer was working somewhere else.
前の店の店長が泣いて頼むんでな。ねぐらにゃ退職金代わりの花やらぬいぐるみがゴロゴロしてるぜ。
そうか。
Isn't that just making him clean up?
どうでもいいけど、その汚い指をお話し。
おっとすまねえ。一度触ってみたかったんだよ、この耳に。
同感だ、ランサ
ー。だろう？
I reach out a hand instinctively and Castor's ears twitch.
動いた。
ブレーナ、私の耳を触っていいのは宗一郎様だけです。
ほう、触ってもらったことあんのか？
うるさい。島の野良犬、打犬、豚犬。見境なく噛みついてると細切れにして深の餌にするわよ。
Castor.
現代ではガス室に送られるんだ。
じゃあそれでいいわ。
その意気だ魔女殿。そっちの方がらしいじゃねえか。でだ、本当に水飲み話をしに来たってわけじゃねえよな。
Castor and I suddenly come to our senses and look at each other. Bringing up the menu as a shield, we quickly hide our faces behind it.
なんだか騒がしいお客がいるのね。せっかく静かそうなお店を選んだのに。ところでいかがですか先生、ぬるぬるのお味は？
煮る切りです。
バレなかったのかな。
のようね。
Castor's face comes very close to mine, and I can see that she's broken into a cold sweat. Though she has been crying and fuming for the last while, now that I look closely at her, she really is an unbelievable beauty. Would someone really leave a wife like this alone to go fooling around with another woman?
何やってんだお前ら。あ？顔を合わせたくない客でもいるのか？
Lancer smirks as he watches us.
そうなんだ。実は
余計なことを。いいわ坊や、何か注文しなさい。怪しまれるから。
今度こそおごってくれるんだろうな。
割り勘に決まってるでしょ。坊やとデートしに来たわけじゃないのよ。
What are you here to do? Commit a crime?
これなんかどうだ？ケニア茶とルワンダ茶のブレンド。俺も飲んだが意外とうまいぞ。
じゃあそれでいいわ。それ2つ。
Castor tries to shoo Lancer away. With staggering rudeness.
かしこまりました。少々お待ちください。
Lancer steps back in a very well-mannered fashion. He's acting like a genuine waiter. He's so courteous, it makes me wonder if he isn't more suited towards the service industry. Just as I'm about to forget that he's a servant, the numbers on the menu bring reality crashing down on me. 1, 7, circle, circle. 1,700 yen for a cup of coffee? Oh boy. You slick fuck. There, what? 1,700 yen? There are beverages that are expensive enough to have commas in their prices? I guess they provide a whole pot, but one cup still shouldn't cost more than 500 yen. Not to mention, the bottom of the menu is filled with prices over 2,000 yen. They drink several servings of this a day? Ireland, what an amazing country. That explains how cheap junk food like fish and chips became a staple in their diet. Now then, I concentrate on listening in on the conversation at the table of the two in question. As usual, Kuzuki-sensei isn't saying anything, while Fujine is talking up a storm. Still, something seems completely out of place with her tone. There's tension mixed in with her voice, like she doesn't know how to bring up what she really wants to talk about. Castor throws them a glance while stooping downward.
さっきまでは学園の教え子や関係者のいる場所を避けていたのよね。
だと思う。おそらく藤姉の勘違いでレストランのつもりがクリーニング屋だったりしたのかもしれないけど。
あれは勘違いなの？
In her case, yes.
多分回転セールの文字に惹かれただけで。
そんな理由。
もしそれより深遠な理由が隠されていたとしたら、俺はこれまで藤姉というホモ・サピエンスを全く理解していなかったことになる。
じゃあ模型店から怒鳴り出てきたのもエポパテが品切れだったからじゃ。
そんな場所寄ってた？
寄ってたわ。
Poxy.
どうしてそんな女に総一郎様は。
Castor bites her nails.
いやだからそういう浮いた話じゃないって。
品切れなんて。
Even though this is such a high-class shop, it's never been so uncomfortable. Fujine, this is all because you didn't take action early on to clear up this misunderstanding. Quickly, just start saying something teacherish. Depending on you, do it! Then, right next to my elbow that's resting on the table as I pray, a face appears.
冷めるぞ。
ランサー。
いつの間に気配も悟らせず。
Steam rises from the cups as Lancer sets up tea for two without so much as making a sound.
お前ら、俺を誰だと思ってる？アルスターの光の巫女。王者の槍のウェイター様だぞ。渋くなる前にとっとと飲め。
あんたが入れたって。
ウェイター様だって言ってんだろ。入れたのは厨房に引っ込んでる妖怪じみたじじいだ。
Spooky old man. Lancer squats surreptitiously near the table and narrows his eyes.
目当てはあの客か？あれ、クズキじゃねえのか？
The atmosphere changes. Even I can feel the overpowering pressure she's aiming at the spearman without looking up from her teacup.
おいおい、よせよ。
While acting innocent, Lancer freely pours from the pot of tea.
客に槍を向けるほど落ちぶれちゃいねえ。そう首にばかりなりたかねえからな。
Yeah, you don't want to lose a third job.
真面目なんだ。
おうよ、勤労戦士よ。
雇い主に尻尾を振るしか能がないのよ。
へいへい。おっと、何も混ぜない方がいいぞ。
Keeping her stiff expression, Castor brings the cup to her lips. Then her expression softens in surprise. Her ears twitch again.
おいしい。
本当だ。これは。なるほど。高価なだけのことは。
な、だろ？
He gives a self-satisfied smile. The tea swirling inside the cup is a very dark copper-like color. It is also completely transparent. There's barely even a hint of bitterness in the flavor as well. There's even a slight sweetness. With this, it's actually better without milk. This flavor is the very essence of tea. The malicious aura surrounding Castor dissipates as she lets out a sigh and relaxes her shoulders. The background sounds return.
ちなみに、あんたのマスターとは初対面だが、隣の姉ちゃんだったら知ってるぜ。
え？
俺の釣り仲間だからな。
Oh, your fishing pal?
あの姉ちゃんはもっぱら食う方だけど。
Ah, so that's why. Embarrassed, I bury my face in my hands.
あの女らしい泥棒トラップリね。
Sorry, I'm an accomplice.
なあ、そろそろ教えろって坊主。何なんだ一体よ。
I give a brief recount of running into Castor and the circumstances leading to us tailing Fujine.
なるほどな。そりゃキャスターの懸念ももっともだ。
同意してくれてありがたいわ。けれど、あなたが言うと嫌な説得力があるわね。
よし。じゃあ、俺が一つ探りを入れてきてやろう。
ランサー。
なに？調査費用はサービスにしといてやる。
He's playing detective.
紅茶のおかわりはいかがでしょ
ちょうだじゃなくてください。とっても美味しかったから。でもおかわりサービスなんてあったの？
う。この曜日この時間、ストライプ柄のお召し物の方にだけサービスしております。
え？しましまサービス？
はい。
残念ですね。先生も次の機会はぜひしましまで。
なるほど。
総一郎様、下着がしましまです。
いいから教えてあげに行かなくても。
失礼ですが奥様、以前お会いしたことが。
奥様？そんな、うわ、やだな。
おや、私早とちりを。まるで一脚のティーセットのようにお似合いに見えましたもので、てっきり。
ですってどうしましょうねえ。
は
Caster?
刺さってる、テーブル刺さってる。しまって、その不思議剣しまって。
It's a state of emergency, Fujinae. Requesting heavy support ASAP. Table's not much more than kindling now.
あれ、お兄さんはもしかしてアロハのお兄さん？
お気づきいただけたようですね。
うわー、全然わかりませんでした。見違えました。
お知り合いですか？
ご紹介しますね。よく鳩場にいらっしゃって釣った魚を分けていただくんです。すっごい釣り名人なんですよ。アロハなのに。
おお。
それほどでも。
今日は魚はお持ちじゃないんですね。あ、アロハ着てないから？
Probably because she's working as a waiter.
仕事中ですから。ちなみにアロハは釣り道具ではありません。
With that, Lancer and Fujinae start talking about the different kinds of black porgy caught at the harbor, enthusiastically discussing different methods to gut them and drain the blood. The complexions of nearby customers turned pale in an instant. Eventually, the young waitress we met earlier pokes Lancer in the back and leads him back into the restaurant's interior. And so we wait a few minutes. Lancer makes his way back to our table, smiling brightly.
よし、だいたいつかめたぜ。
本当に？
なんだか奥で怒られてたみたいにも見えたけど。
ちょっとだけな。
Just a little.
まあ、しかしこうしてじっと黙って見つめてたらすぐ解放してくれたぜ。
それだけじゃ済まないでしょ。
She hits the tip of Lancer's nose at the menu.
お見通しか。
ええ、あなたみたいなタイプは特にね。
おう、実は俺もある種の相手には鼻が利く。だが正直あの変な姉ちゃんのことは全くわからん。
Yeah, that's about right. He forcefully asserts this.
だがクズキについては大体わかったぜ。
一言も会話してなかったじゃないか。
それでもだって。
何が分かったっていうの？
ん？そうだな。ありゃ女に振り回されて喜ぶタイプだ。あれこれ世話を焼いたり、わがままを聞いてやって懐の広いふりをしてみたりな。不幸せなのが心地いい一種の魔女。男女である前にマスターとサーバントとの関係だってのに推挙なもんだよな。
そこで俺を見るのかよ。
Castor bites your lip and turns away.
勝手なこと。
怒ったのか？
あなたの妄言に真面目に耳を傾けた自分を恥じただけです。
手厳しいな。風の噂じゃ竜道寺で夫婦ごっこしてるって話だが。
She turns to him, her anger showing on her face for a brief moment. However, she falters, turning her face away again. She's probably about to say we're not playing, but she wasn't able to. As if he sees this, Lancer keeps going.
やめとけやめとけ。どこまで行っても確かな絆なんてものが目で見えたりするわけじゃねえんだから。
なんさ、クズキ家の平和を乱そうとしてるのか？
あ？おいおい、坊主までそんな顔しやがってん。
Lancer scratches his head, disheveling his hair.
悪いな、言い方が汚かったか？要は気楽にやれって言ってんだ。夫婦だなんだって肩肘張ることはねえよ。自分が疲れっちまう。せっかくの遊びの時間だ。また同じ失敗をしたらあんた立ち直れるのかい？
なんさ。
まあ聞けよ。俺でも妻帯者、一児の父だ。人にはいろいろな考え方があろうや。知れば勉強になることもある。仮にだ、あいつが浮気したとしよう。誰にだって間違いはある。ムラっと来たり、カッとなって憂を晴らしたくなったりな。それを今のあんたはきっと許せない。そうなりゃ何をするかわからんだろう。だが一度きりの間違いで全部手放しちまっていいのか？そりゃ脆すぎるってもんだろう。
何事も妥協で済ませるのが強き夫婦と言いたいの？
しかりよ。七かまどの枝はしなやかで粘り強い。嵐にも雪にも折れない。自分の湖に小さい堰を作って時々水を逃がしたところで湖は干上がらんし、空の天井も落ちてはこんさ。
Seems Lancer is encouraging her in his own way. That said, a drawback of having three people talking while ducking low and clinging to the table is that it's impossible to create a serious atmosphere.
相手も安全弁を持っているはずだ。だから自分は浮気をしても別に構わないだろう。それがあなたの逃げ口上なわけね。けどあなたにだって決して譲れない聖なる誓いはあるでしょう。男の世界だけのものと思っているかもしれないけど。
聖なる誓いね。そりゃ破れないもんはいくらかあったけどよ。そういうのはなんだ。明確に考えちゃまずいもんだ。その手のもんは守るだけに留めておくんだよ。内容の是非は死に際あたりで振り返っていればいい。
Lancer speaks of ties that bind, which cannot be yielded to another. He's saying that these are not something to be analyzed, but something to accept and abide by in silence. This is the biggest difference between the spearman and a certain bowman. Both are obliging people, but the latter points out every error in an attempt to help others improve. The former approves of even the errors, and helps by covering for them without saying a word.
何度目の人生だろうが、私にはたった一つなのよ。定まったマスターもなく、ひょうひょうと暮らしているあなたには、生きている実感なんて永遠に湧かないのでしょうね。
かもな。命は巡るものだ。それはそれとして、あちらさん、どうやら本題に入るらしい。
Just as he says, when I take a look, I can see Fujine clumsily propping up her elbows on the table and locking her fingers together. He is a sentry and scout prodigy, after all. No matter what the situation, his eyes are always alert.
ところで、本日はですね、お日柄もよろしくですね。折り入って、久月先生にご相談がありまして。
うん。
私って、一人の女性としてどう思われますでしょうか？
Huh. Fujine! With a dull sound, Castor grips Lancer's ear fiercely. Lancer looks like he's screaming, but no sound's coming out. His piercing ear can be ripped out. It's a relief I'm not sitting beside her.
言ってしまった。すみません。他に聞き方なかったのかな、私ったら。本当、ごめんなさい。いきなりですよね。でもぜひ率直な気持ちを聞かせていただけたらと思いまして。
私の気持ちをですか？
ええ、先生でなければダメなんです。
It's getting worse. I said I give. Hey, Cassie! It's being torn right off. Caster's eyes are wide open. Somehow her worried face and Lancer's image contorted in agony aren't in her field of vision at all. She's trembling all over.
少々話が見えません。順を追って話してくださると良いのですが。
そうですね。そうします。私ったらもう。
Fujine slaps her cheeks and downs her tea in one gulp. That's right, I'm begging you, Fujine, calm down. Lancer's ear life hangs in the balance.
実はですね、先日生徒から相談を受けまして、女の子です。いわゆる恋の悩みってやつで、そういう相談は以前にもありまして、特にそれが最初というわけでもなかったんです。しょっちゅうってわけでもないですけど、まあやっぱりそういう相談を持ちかけてくれるのって教師冥利につきますから、私なりに精一杯親身になって聞いて一緒に考えました。
I'm a little relieved that the conversation we're hearing seems to be moving away from the worst case scenario I was imagining. Caster's released her hold on Lancer's ear and he's now squatting on the floor clutching the side of his head. Oh, pitiful spearman, be thankful that you still have both your ears.
だったんですけど、以前はそれで感謝されることなんかもあって、ちょっとうぬぼれちゃってたのかな。
守備欲はいかなかったのですね。
はい。嫌われたってほどじゃないんですけど、こちらから話しかけても以前のように何でも打ち明けてはくれなくなってしまって、信頼を失ってしまったというか。
この話は他言しません。
助かります。
Fujine is starting to tear up a little. Something like that happened? I never knew.
それで、その子に言われたことがずっと気になってしまって、今度は私の方が誰か相談できる方がいないかななんて。まあ、情けない話なんですけど。
何と告げられたのですか？
ええ。その子にはこう言われました。先生は彼氏もいないし、バツイチでもない。何を話したって無駄じゃんって。
人生経験に乏しいから相談しても無駄だと。
そうです。
それでクズキに白羽の矢を立てて大人の火遊び、濃厚な不倫ライフを満喫してみようってわけか。やるね姉ちゃん。
Dude, do you ever think before you open your mouth? The blade of a knife suddenly appears just under the nose on Lancer's self-satisfied face.
鼻の穴が一つになるわよ。
自分が未熟なのは重々承知でしたけど、それともう一つ、こっちのが効いたな。先生は誰でも好きで、誰にでも好かれるからわかんないんだよ。お前のこと別に何とも思ってないなんて言われたことないでしょ。先生を避けてる人のことなんか想像できないでしょって。私、人を好きになることにかけては男女問わず自信があります。でも、その子の言いたかったのはもちろんそういうことじゃなくて、
好きでなければ嫌い、あるいはなし。中間はなく、明確な決断を求める話ですね。
ああ、ぶっちゃけそうです。私の身の回りでそんな話はないです。この冬騎士で、もしかして西日本一帯で一番縁遠いのが私かもしれません。
No, that's not.
私が力になれるとも限りません。
それです。恋愛にまつわる経験豊富な先生方は確かに他にもいらっしゃいますけど、失礼ながらもう過去の話ですよね。実感を持って私の相談に乗ってくださるかというと、ちょっとその不安で。
She must not have wanted them to treat her worry as something that she would get over with time. Maybe the student who asked Fujine for help felt the same way. I think she should have some more self-confidence in that, but
久月先生はご結婚されたばかりです。つまり久月先生にとって私はナッシングのはずですよね。
Castor nods strongly. Lancer's nodding his head along with her. Thanks to that, he still has 2 nostrils.
ですからぜひですね、今日は教師ではなくて一人の女性として私にどう興味ないかを語っていただければと。いやもう全く無理なお願いとは承知しております。でもこんな話真面目に考えていただけそうなのも久月先生だけだったんです。あ、ほら、何とも思ってないっていうのも実はいろいろあるんじゃないかと愚行いたしまして、ガサツだとか服のセンスが女っぽくなくてやぼったいとか、おかわりしすぎとか、食べてすぐ寝るなとか、タイガーとかで、すみません、私一人で延々喋ってますね。紅茶飲みます？
はい。
That's just Kuzuki-sensei being his quiet self. But more importantly, that's a tough question indeed. Fujine calls over a waitress and orders another one of the strange teas. When I turn my line of sight back in front of me, Castor, now free from her suspicions, is wearing an expression as clear as the autumn weather. Lancer, on the other hand, has a sober look on his face, as though trying to work through Fujine's difficult problem.
総一郎様、仕事仲間に相談を持ちかけられたなら一言おっしゃってくださればいいのに。私だって秘密は絶対に守りますのに。
それはどうかな。
何？物干し竿の行商だったら間に合ってるわよ。
竹や竿だけって俺の槍に真っ向くせふんどし干したりするんじゃねえ。まだただの相談事とは決まってないぜ。
まさかもう一波乱ってことは。
わからんわけわからんぞ。腹を割った話だ。どう転ぶかな。
あなた人の不安を煽ってるだけでしょ。結果論でそれ見たことかって言いたいだけなんじゃないの？
Anyway, there aren't a lot of men who could answer Fujine's question easily. Assuming they don't hate her, they'd at least hold back a bit. To begin with, why don't I see this simple neighbor as a romantic interest? That's just not something people normally think. It's not something they're even conscious of in the first place. The girl who asked Fujine for advice was making a pretty tall order, seriously. So for someone to be able to answer it, they'd have to have a lot of life experience. The presence of mind to look at themselves objectively. The honesty, or maybe cruelty, to point out another person's flaws to their face. Someone like that. The only man I know of who fits the description is... Lancer. Absolutely not. You'd have to be Kuzuki-sensei after all, I guess. Well, even still. It's normal to be anxious that the person you're talking to might hate you or not want you around. As long as they're not extremely self-centered, or extremely naive like a certain somebody. Maybe it would end up as a shock therapy for that certain someone. Taking a sip of his fresh tea, Kuzuki-sensei sternly speaks up. Hold on a second. Alright.
未だ私がふさわしいのかどうか疑問は拭えませんが、先生のたっての希望とあればお答えしよう。
お願いします。
おっしゃる通り、私は藤村先生に興味は一切ありません。
ですよね。
Castor stroked a small triumphant pose.
男として藤村大河という女性に欲望を持つかと問われるなら、それもありません。ましてや、恋愛感情を抱くことなどありえません。
Really going all in on it, huh?
ですよね。
Fujine is having a hard time, as expected. Without the triumphantly beaming Castor, Lancer's shaking his head with a disgusted look on his face.
あくまで同僚として円滑なお付き合いができればそれで構いません。
はい。
Fujine visibly shrinks. Please have mercy already. It hurts. Just listening hurts more than I expected.
そう思っておりました。
おりました。
Lancer rises abruptly as he hears this. There's a fiery glint in his eyes. As I thought, he likes this kind of stuff after all.
私は
Watch this soap
総じて
opera.
人間というものに興味を持たないのです。人生の苦しみや喜び、他者が自分をどう思っているのか、こちらに愛情を持っているのか、憎しみを向けられているのか、せいぜい気にかかるとすれば、相手がしたいかそうでないか、その程度。
Fujine's voice can be heard over the entire store. She leans heavily onto the table.
だって奥様がいらっしゃるのでしょ。
確かにおりますが、恋愛結婚ではありません。
じゃあお見合いですか。それとも家に無理やり決められた言い名付けですとか。
強いて言えば見合いのようなものです。しかしそれも自分から起こした行動ではなく偶然的だったと言えるでしょう。
I fearfully look at Castor. Her head is tilted downwards to the point where her facial expression concealed behind her bangs can't be seen. Fortunately. Even Lancer flinches away a little.
どう。
Fujine, who sounds like she's reciting a Kenji Miyazawa poem, takes a deep breath and somehow manages to calm herself. She inquires again with a still tremulous voice.
どういうことなんですか。
他人に無関心でも生きられるということです。私は自分の授業で人間というのは一人では生きていけない生き物であると教えていますが、実際には個人の身になって考えれば他者の存在など必要ありません。道具や物です。相手も同じ人間だと思う必要など例えば単独で狩りをする動物が意識するのは自らの縄張りと子孫を残すために交配する相手をいかに効率よく獲得し、そしてまた縄張りの外へ追いやるかということです。
あ、メスグモが交尾後のオスを食べちゃうっていう。
それは生存のために異性を利用する典型でしょう。ただ効率よく利用し合おうとする関係は愛情と言えますか。仕事を共に行う相手に好意を持たなければ。
そうですね。相手のことを個人的におもんばかる必要は必ずしもないです。生きてはいけます。
はい、生きるだけなら一人で十分です。
ええ。
I return my gaze and I'm dumbfounded by what I see. Lancer's moving his finger towards the brooding Castor's bangs, all smiling teasingly. No way. This is beyond morbid fascination. Is he planning on unleashing hell here? I lean forward to try to prevent any reckless actions. I reach out, but it's too late. In the next moment, a fingertip slips into place and raises her bangs. And what appears doesn't look upset at all. What appears is a firm set of blue eyes. It's a gentle smile full of confidence.
ダメですよ。
Fujine stands up abruptly, shaking her chair.
奥様を大切にしてください。
Her face is turning red and she flails her arms. The tiger has appeared.
一度も会ったことはありませんけど、先生が職員室でお食べになっているお弁当を私見たことあります。うちのシロみたいにプロ級とはいかないけど、一言で言うとちょっと出来損ないというか、 食べても品質に問題ありませんというか、でもとっても一生懸命に作ってありました。私わかります。私も料理下手ですから。いや、だから私が先生の役に立ちませんって釘刺してるわけではなく、それにシローからも聞いてます。外国の方なのに日本の生活に慣れようとしてすっごく頑張っているとか、雅やかでとても絵になるお二人だとか。
先生、かけてください。器が倒れてはやけどを負いかねません。
はい、これは失礼おば。
Fujine tilts her head in confusion.
あれ、これってば奥様から私に乗り換えちゃおうっていうよろよろめきめきメロメロなお話だったりは。
いいえ。
ごめんなさい。そうですか。ですよね。また私ったら全く粗骨者で。でもよかった。
私こそどう語ればよいのか分かりかねて。
Kuzuki-sensei straightens his back, lifts his hands from his lap, and clasps them onto the table. Shining faintly on his ring finger is a silver ring.
正直に申して私は未だに藤村先生の疑問に直接お答えできる言葉を持ち合わせません。
それでしたら先ほど
あれは以前の私がそう動いていたということです。
なるほど。
藤村先生は生徒に指摘されたように独身であることに不安を覚えておられるのかもしれません。自分に欠けているものを認めながら教壇に立ち続けることが自分に対しても折り合いをつけることができるのだろうか、そう懸念されているのかと。でしたら私にも不安はあります。妻を持つ者として何をなさねばならないのか、周囲に何を期待されているのか、妻以外の女性に対してどう接すればよいのかわからないことだらけです。こういった事柄に考えが及ぶようになったのは他ならぬ家内と出会ったからです。互いに何の過去も持ち合わせない、ただ夫婦という形だけが初めにあった。形から入るという言葉がありますが、私はその形に救われたのだと今では思っています。
でも今では奥様を愛していらっしゃるんですね。そこで黙っちゃうんですか？
申し訳ありません。私は自分の感情がわからない、いえ信じないようにしている。それはしてはならないことだからです。ですのではっきりと主観を口にすることはできません。
は？自分を信じちゃいけないんでしょうか？
いいえ、これは私の数少ない心情ですのでお気になさらずに。まあそういった約束事もあるので私にも確かな言葉などないのですが。
Kuzuki-sensei coughs softly.
気持ちは鈍く怠惰なものです。今確かにそうだと感じ得たことが明日には移ろいかれることも不思議ではない。だからこそ日々の繰り返しの中でようやく気づく思いもあるのではないか。ただ一瞬の熱情にすがるのではなく、寄り添って生きてこそ育まれるものもあるのではないか。伽藍堂の私でもいつかは変われるのではないか、そう思いました。言うなればそれは弱さでしょう。守るべきものがなければ何も失うこともなく負けはしないのですから。だがそれでは生きているだけ。 死んでいるも同然です。言葉を口にせずとも、私と家内はすでに夫婦です。私は器用ではありませんので、ただ二人の形を守り続けていくだけで今は精一杯なのです。私は口数が少ないので落ち着いているように見られるかもしれませんが、生徒たちの前で不安に駆られる場面があるのは同じです。しかしそんな自分の至らなさを理解しながらも、その瞬間に最善を尽くすのであれば、それは恥ずかしいことではないでしょう。
はい、いつか立派な教師になるその日までファイトですね。
武道にも通じる話ですが、短い一生のうちで人を教える道には終着点などはおそらくないのでしょう。慢心に溺れずたゆまぬ研鑽を続けることこそ確実な姿勢であると私は思います。藤村先生にお話しできる範囲ではこれが全てです。聞き苦しい話でしたが、先生が引け目を感じずに済む助けになれば幸いです。
As he says this, Kuzuki-sensei lightly bows to Fujine. Fujine's eyes begin to fill with tears.
渋い、結婚したい。あ、いや、ありがとうございました。すっごい元気エナジーいただきました。私の方こそ応援しておりますから。
Fujine suddenly bows deeply, banging her head and arms on the table.
やっぱあの姉ちゃん面白えな。
Lancer laughs without a care in the world.
総一郎様から離れたところで大騒ぎしてくれる分にはね。
This one is laughing at well, but she's most likely seething with rage inside.
まあ、あいつが律儀な男だってのは最初から分かってたよ。
ランサー、今ステータスの幸運値が E から F マイナスに更新されたから。
何をバカな。
紅茶代あなたにつけておくから迷惑料で。
何？
So as not to be noticed, we slip out from the front entrance. But as that was impossible, we stealthily creep across the floor towards the washrooms and tumble out from a narrow window, thus putting an end to our surveillance mission.
迷惑かけたわね、あなたにも。
I smile bitterly while dusting off my pants.
まったくだ。けど藤姉の教師らしいところが見られて
あれで困った人ね。
Castor shrugs, but she really does look content.
せいぜい晩餐を大盛りにしてブクブク太らせてあげて。
そうするよ。そっちこそあまり一世を邪険にせずに。一世？
You know, the guy you were supposed to meet today?
保証しかねるわね。魔女ですもの。どうかした？目を丸くして。
やっべ、一世のこと完全に忘れてた。
待ち合わせ？しょうのない。適当に私の方で言い繕っておくわ。
Thanks, Castor.
すまん。
The shame. All the debt she owes has instantly gone back to zero. After I see Castor off, I recall the image of Lancer as a waiter. I had the impression that he was going to have some trouble at his part-time job early on, but somehow I get the feeling that this one could last a while. Yeah, he wasn't half bad as a waiter, honestly. Okay. That scene took so much longer than I thought it would. What the fuck? I mean, it was a good scene, but like, come on. That was long as hell. Alright, so in the next episode, we'll do that Saigusa event if nothing else pops up. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye!